Disney stock on its way to worst year since 1974 after Avatar sequel disappoints. This is Market Watch story. Disney shares sank nearly 5% to its lowest level since March 2020 on Monday after the blockbuster sequel and one of the priciest movies in Hollywood history fell short of the hype. In its opening weekend, Avatar: The Way of Water hauled in $134 million domestically and had the second largest global opening of 2022, but fell short of tracking estimates on advanced U.S. ticket sales and disappointed in one of the biggest markets for the franchise, China. Disney had hoped to clean up in China with the first movie in 2009, did blockbuster business. The Way of Water earned $57.1 million there, which Disney described in a Wall Street Journal report as disappointing but understandable. The problem is nobody wants to go to the cinema because they've been told that COVID is extremely dangerous. Tony Chambers, Disney Global head of theatrical distribution, said. Tom, what are your thoughts on the story?
Well, first of all, this is why Disney has a new CEO, folks. This is why Bob Iger is back in doing his own version of a reality show to rebuild the house. So Avatar is going to be just fine, and I think this is going to be the biggest movie of all time. If you think about everything you have to do to put on an event, it's like we do the Vault event here at Valuetainment. You can't move the date. You can't change things. There's hotels, there's travel. Everything is in place. This movie was in place, and no one could have predicted just how big World Cup was going to be. Number one, no one could have predicted that COVID would have another wave come through and China would start telling people to stay home, or that you would have civil unrest in many parts of China over Apple labor practices at those factories. Yet, so I don't look at it this way. Oh, Avatar didn't meet expectations. I find it kind of unbelievable they did as much as they did against those headwinds. So they got a new CEO. They got this thing. I think Avatar is going to be just fine. I think this is going to be sitting there at number one when everything is counted later on. This would be the biggest movie, biggest box office.
And Pat, you saw it, right?
Yeah, I did.
Did you like if you? And I'm a movie buff. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
I heard two conflicting sides from Maverick and everybody. Maverick said it was 3 hours and 10 minutes. He goes, they didn't need that extra 10 minutes. After 3 hours, your body's like, okay, what's going on? What do you, from rating it from storyline? I mean, graphics, they've had 15 years with technology. What would you rank the movie?
I listen, I thought the story was great. It started very slow. They had to kind of bring you back. Obviously, maybe the reason was because it's been so long. I don't know. I think the movie could have been done in 2 hours and 40 minutes. It didn't need to be 3 hours and 12 minutes. I would have been fine with 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Agree.
I'm okay with that part. It's very emotional at the end. The story is about how your kids eventually lead your family, and parents end up needing kids to rely on, which is a very emotional message. That the way he did it, it was very, very, he tugged at your heart constantly for the last 40 minutes. I mean, I've walked out of movies so many times in the first half hour, 1 hour.
Done.
If you do that with this movie, you'll be disappointed because the last 30, 40 minutes is worth it. Here's the other part. China, of course, makes sense for them to have the kind of numbers that they have, so they can't be disappointed with that. You can't do anything when politics get involved in China. That's not the movie's fault. That's not Cameron's fault. He says we need to make $2 billion to break even. That is an insane number to say they need to break even. Here's the other thing that nobody is talking about on why Avatar didn't hit the numbers. You ready? Well, Avatar came out the weekend of the World Cup.
Yeah.
Who the hell is talking Avatar?
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody.
Yep.
I mean, you got 3 billion people that watch the World Cup, give or take. Little over 3 billion people. You think 3 billion people are sitting there saying, so Adam, what did you think about Avatar? If Avatar would, and let me give you a prediction, if Avatar would have waited 1 week on when to come out, they would have done numbers and even more. They screwed up on timing. Mm-hmm. What are you doing coming out on the weekend of World Cup? Like, honestly, Mr. CMO, whoever the CMO is, what the hell were you thinking?
Yep.
You know the calendar. Mm-hmm. You know when the World Cup freaking is. You can't change it 1 weekend.
Yeah.
You can't go 1 weekend before or 1 weekend after. Like, I thought the timing of it was out of whack, but I will tell you this. I think this number is going to – there's some people that are upset with the fact that they showed pregnant warriors. I don't know if you saw that or not.
They're already getting backlash. The woke mob is starting. They're already talking.
Yeah, if you want to – like the whole concept of, no, not the woke mob. Yeah, exactly. The whole, like, they wanted a pregnant warrior to say, hey, we wanted to kind of highlight women.
Yeah.
We felt sympathy for women pregnant, so we want to say that pregnant women can be warriors. Fine, I understand what he's trying to do. I don't think it makes any sense, to be quite frank with you. I'm sure back in the days you didn't have a choice if you were having to fight, and I do believe back in the days if a pregnant mother had to be forced to protect her kids, she probably would have fought. So it may not resonate with the average person today. I was talking to somebody the other day who said, my mom gave birth to me. I said, yeah, my mom also gave birth to me. She says, no, you don't understand. My mom was walking, and all of a sudden, she's not in America. She's living in Mexico. I was born. And she's holding me with my umbilical cord, and she went to the neighbor, and a neighbor who was half blind, no joke, cut it, and that's how I was born. Now, today, if you say that to the average person, what will they say? What an irresponsible mom.
What's wrong with
I mean, 1,000 years ago, everybody was doing that. It's not like you were going to the doctor, calling Blue Cross Blue Shield, saying, hey, can I set up my C-section? There was none of that 1,000 years ago. It's a different time. So a little bit of reach. There was no LGBTQ type of a thing where parents can feel safe about that part when they're watching this. James Cameron didn't play the games with that. I do think this is going to end up making a ton of money, and it's not going to slow down. That's what I would say about Avatar.
And it'll hit HBO or something within, a month?
I don't know. I got a movie recommendation for the people out there. This might be a little controversial. We're talking about Avatar. We're talking about Black Adam. What number are we on the Avengers or whatever. Yeah. Don't listen to this message if you have kids, if you're married with kids, or if you're taking your girl on a date night. But if you're a dude out there, let's say you're 16 and older, here's what movie you should watch this year. 0 movies. Okay? If you're working and you don't have money saved up, you're not in shape, you're 20 pounds overweight, you haven't done a business plan yet, you don't have a chick in your life, you're not doing anything, you don't have a purpose, you haven't done your business plan, you haven't done anything, you get to watch 0 movies this year. You get to watch 0 Netflix shows this year. There's no video games for you this year until you clean up your act. There's so many men out there that are watching movies that know that they're on Avengers 17, they're on Superman 7, they're on Spider-Man 19. I watch 0 movies. You guys are talking about Avatar. That's great. You've got kids. Respect. The kids need to see that. If I don't have kids, or if I'm not on a date night with my girl, there's no movies for you. You're struggling, homie. Like, I'm just saying, most dudes out there, two out of 3 people in America are living paycheck to paycheck. You don't get to see movies until you're off the paycheck to paycheck wheel. That's my opinion.
I haven't gone because there hasn't been anything worth me watching. But I mean,
I'm on the complete opposite.
I'm mind you, you know this. I'm a movie buff. Mario tests me all the time. Mario will say one word from a movie and I could get it.
I'm not talking about movies from the 90s.
Yeah, no, but
when we were kids,
I'm in
of
the
course.
same boat.
If you're a kid, go see a movie.
When it comes to hip hop, I stopped with Biggie and all them back in the day, and then when it comes to films, but bro, I mean, kind of, I would go if it was good, but off of Adam's thing, how expensive is for 3D? How much is the ticket, popcorn, food, drink for one person's experience? How much is it, Pat, for 3D?
I couldn't even tell you. I don't know. I buy the tickets online and $14, $15, $20.
No, I think right now they're like for what's a 3D?
No, for 3D soda and a popcorn, I'd be willing to bet national average about $30 because I think that's going to be like a $19 ticket, right?
I was going to say at least a $20.
$14. There you go.
This is for regular.
Yeah,
regular ticket.
Yeah, but that's matinee, so it's 1 o'clock.
Oh, no, listen, for 3D, I heard it was like almost $40.
Really?
Plus everything.
Okay.
You have to wear the goggles and all that shit. It's not cheap, bro. So I could see where Adam, because I mean, some people watch two movies a week.
There you go. $20.43 for
there you go.
So you figure popcorn's $10 and a drink. You're spending $40 for one person.
Easy for
That's
one
insane.
person.
That's it for a person that can't afford it.
$40.
That is insane. I don't disagree. I will tell you, for me, when I was broke and I was busting my ass, movies were my therapy. For me to go to a matinee, get away from everybody, and watch I Am Legend was a form of escape without needing a therapist.
Yeah.
Movies have done that for me, but we understand Adam is an unorthodox type of guy. He doesn't believe in driving.
Yeah, box lefty.
He has his horse parked outside. He comes in. Tom, you're trying to say something on the movie side? I think you were going to say something.
No, but I will. I think there's a lot of movies out there that are not exactly family friendly, and I'm really thrilled to see Avatar. my girls, my kids, they love the Marvels. They love the Avengers. They love that series. We love Top Gun. So there's glimmers of hope in there that are movies. But I agree with Pat. You know, you look at it like this. I think a movie is a great experience, and I think it's an uplifting experience because you drop down into an immersive story, and you get to look at the story, and it touches you. I Am Legend, things like that. I disagree. I think movies is a rather cost-effective escape, and to your point, Vinny, you don't have to go to the 7:30.
Friday night.
High def theater with 3D where for real D, and then you got to pay for the glasses and everything. You can go to standard theaters and enjoy it. But I think it's an escape. There's positive messages. It stirs your soul. It stirs your thoughts. I'm on that page.
Anyways,
but I wish there was
best
more
movie of all time. Favorite movie of all time. Give you a favorite movie.
Me, it's Godfather 2.
Okay, what's yours?
Goodfellas.
What's yours?
Jaws.
It's yours?
Anything with Vince Vaughn. Swingers, old
Wedding
school
Crashers.
Wedding Crashers.
You have to pick one.
Oh,
You have
I
to
like
pick
that.
one. You have to pick-
Swingers,
Really?
for sure.
Swingers.
Vince Vaughn.
All right,
legend.
there you go.
What do you got?
What about
Pat?
you?
I mean, Godfather 2's got to be there. I would put Man on Fire.
Man
I would
on
put
Fire,
Gladiator.
just
Probably Gladiator. I'll put Gladiator at the top. I can watch it.
Here's
50
my
times.
point. Those movies are like they don't make movies like they used to.
No,
it's
of
all
course
just
not.
Marvel,
CGI.
DC.
I agree with
nonsense
that.
these days.
Yeah, I agree with that.
CGI.
And by the way, to your point, because I know you have strong feelings on movies. When you were going, because you've told that story, you'd go by yourself.
Yep.
What phase of your life were you in at that point?
27 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
You were in your building phase. You were creating a company. You were working at WFG at the point.
Yeah,
You had,
yeah.
So the point is this: your escape for those 2 hours, because you needed to decompress for all the shit you were dealing with. This isn't when you were in the Army. This isn't when you were at Bally's. This isn't when
Army
you were
I couldn't
broke.
afford. Army, we would watch
Okay.
movies in the barracks.
Bro.
No, when you're making $600 a month, dude, you can't do a lot of things.
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
But I guess my point is this: if you're like, for instance, for me, I'm reading, I'm watching YouTube, I'm reading articles. I don't watch any TV. But if I need escape, I'll watch a half hour of Seinfeld or whatever. Yes, I do agree you need some escape.
So with all the craziness taking place, I believe future looks bright. If you believe future looks bright, get your latest Future Looks Bright hat of Valuetainment. It says Future Looks Bright here, Future Looks Bright here. We got them in white, we got them in black, we got them in red. Our black on black sold out. These are about to sell out. If you haven't ordered one yet, we had a person in Michigan, bought one, then he bought 3. Then when those 3 people weren't in the office, they had to order 58 of them because people wanted the Future Looks Bright hat, especially during times like this, because ain't nobody saying Future Looks Bright. To order your Future Looks Bright hat, click over here, and to watch the entire podcast, click here. Take care, everybody.